Alisa?
Alitra.
Alitra. Okay. Well, how are you, Alitra?
I'm doing good. I'm anxious to talk to Mariah.
Oh, Mariah.
There you go, girl.
Hi, Mariah.
Hi.
I just wanted to let you know that I'm very proud of you, and I am so happy that you are doing the thing that you love and all of your accomplishments. I'm glad that I get to see you meet goals and aspirations that you set for yourself. You are doing a wonderful job.
Thank you.
So I have a quick question for you.
Yeah.
So what's your favorite part of doing the things that you do? The modeling and the acting. What's your favorite part?
It's fun.
It's fun?
Yeah.
Okay. So where do you see yourself as an adult? Have you thought that far?
What?
When you grow
I
up.
said, where do you see yourself as an adult? Have you thought that far?
Yeah.
What do you see yourself doing?
I want to reverse life and be like my mom.
Aww, that's so beautiful.
Aww. Well, I know that you have a great mom, and I am very proud of the both of you guys. So I will let you go on. I know you have probably many more callers.
Yes.
Enjoy the rest of your day and keep up the great work, okay?
Okay.
You are inspiring a lot of little girls who want to be like you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, caller. We appreciate it.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank
Erica.
you. Hey, it's like that out there. You know what I mean? You got to have your fans and you got to have your followers and the
Life.
social that life, that part right there. Social media. How do you handle that? How do the two of you work with that, Mariah, you and your mom, on your social media accounts?
I don't know. My mom need to talk.
Okay. Queen Jeanette.
It's rough.
Okay.
That's my nighttime job.
Right? Okay,
So
because it is a job.
It's a job.
And your posts are very detailed and specific and boom. Right? They just be like, boom. You be like, okay, Mariah's at Amazon. Okay, boom. Mariah is at Sprint. Okay, boom. Mariah is at Burger King. Okay, boom.
Boom.
I try
Boom.
not to put too much like where she's auditioning for this, she's
You
auditioning for
just
that.
went,
So I
yeah,
just do
yeah, yeah.
specific,
Yep.
That's
specific
bragging.
things.
That's basically bragging, and my mom doesn't like to brag because her
That's-
friends does, and she's not a follower. But sometimes she's a good girl. Sometimes she's not.
Okay.
But that's true. It's a lot with the followers, and you know what I mean, and coming up with the slogans and deciding which photographs that you actually are going to
Yes,
put
yes.
together
It's
in
a
the
lot.
collage, and
It
actually
is.
creating the collage,
Yeah,
and putting
yeah.
it out there, and you got to think of all the hashtags. Because I'm the worst. Laura Rock. I could tell you if it wasn't for Laura Rock, but I'm trying to get better. Y'all pray for me. I'm doing it. But at the end of the day, you're right, because it's just
It's
like
a
a whole
job.
job. So I be trying to like capture like slogans and keep them in my notes and just rerun that. But then when you get to the hashtagging, and that's because you want to keep it hot. The
Yeah.
Lord Rocket keep us hot. So praise be to God. We have Lord
yes.
Rocket. You know what I'm saying? But Felicia, what about you? How do you handle your social media accounts and stuff like that?
I'm not gonna lie, my son helps me a lot because I have mines and I have my daughters, and then my daughter is a brand, so Filters by Naomi. I have that to handle too. So
Oh my God.
it's
It's a
nice
job.
having a
Yes.
20-year-old son that understands social media to help you with what I do.
I know.
It's very nice.
It is definitely a job, you know what I mean? But it's cool, it's fun, to watch the numbers sometimes. Girl, I can't even lie. Was it about a year or so ago? I was caught up in the rapture. I was caught out of. I can't even front, y'all. I was caught up in the matrix when it came to the. How many likes did I get? Did I get that many likes? Oh my God! Oh my God! Why didn't they give it any likes? Oh my God! And you be thinking, okay, I put up this picture. This picture's gonna be hot. You're like, dang, is that all I got this time? And then you put up another picture. You be like, really? They like that picture? Why people like that?
And it's so up and down.
And why? Why is that about? What is that about on the real? What is that?
Yeah.
It really
It's up
can
and
be. It's a psychological roller coaster. I was on it, and I was Lori. Yes. I was on it. I was on the psychological roller coaster. Like, oh my God. Okay, so let's make a bigger video. Let's make a bigger one this time. Since I'm gonna do this, and we're gonna make it. Whoa! We're gonna see how many likes we got. Oh, okay, we got like 10,000 now. Oh, yeah.
I had to outdo yourself.
Right. So, have you been there?
No.
We've never been.
I've been there. Felicia, what about you? Have you been there?
I definitely been there. Yeah, I've been there, like, to think, like, as far as should I buy followers? Like, people are going to take me serious.
Right.
So, my son told me, like, you have to get with the algorithm.
That
There's
part.
certain times you have to
Yes.
post.
Yes,
You have to go live after. There's a whole
It's a
school.
Yeah.
Okay, I went through that, Lord. Sissy will tell you that. I started studying, and then I did a market research on my followers, and just what you say, the best time of day when to post, what is my sweet spot. So just to let you guys know, our sweet spot here for me, and because all I do is the Poetry of Justice show on the gram and Facebook, but our sweet spot is directly from Haryana, India. That is our biggest following. So that's why, Lord Rocker, you see me, I'll post late in the day. You see, I'll be posting like 4, 5, 6 because over there it's morning time over there, so they getting ready to go to work and they going to school and they doing their thing, right? And so first thing in the morning is boom, Jackie Ray. You know what I mean? And I get a lot of love, and I praise be to God and thank them for doing that. And then Algeria, we have that, and then we have Morocco is another one of our sweet spots. You know, that is where, if I had to go overseas somewhere to try to be that woman, I'm going to take my ass to Haryana, India. You know what I'm saying? Because I got a pretty good following there. But I did all that market research, like you said, certain times a day on what time to post on Mondays, what time to post on Tuesdays, what time to post on Wednesdays, and then Thursdays, what time of day. I did it. I've been there, girl. That's what I'm saying. I was completely caught up. So it is a world when I have completely molded myself out. I know, Lori, look at
You
me.
have.
I have, because I was caught up, and I'm like, damn, Sissy, you think I should do? I just
I have a question.
Calm down.
Is social media an integral part of making it in this industry?
But Lord, I want to ask Laura Rocca, because I want to know, does it also happen for men like that too?
Oh,
We'll go with that one, Sissy.
No, I'm just curious. I mean, I think about work before social media and its blow up, right? And then now life with social media. Do you think that helps build your brand? And
I know for sure. Yes, I'm a mom first, but I have a talent agency, and I do see the breakdowns. So in acting, a lot of times, if you don't have a certain following, no matter who you train with, no matter how extensive your resume is, they don't even see you.
That's true.
And then I worked for YouTube for a while for full screen, and I would host, they would have parties, and in these parties, huge, ginormous contracts were signed. No normal agent will ever see this. They won't even see these breakdowns for these jobs, because you have to have over 1 million followers.
wow.
Yeah, so
You got to get in there. You got to play it.
you gotta.
You really
yeah.
kind of do. If you want to be taken. Well, Laura Rocca, I need to ask you, and Rashid, if you two, have you, but particularly, Laura Rocca, what is it like for you managing your different platforms, and what has your experience?
It's all about timing. When it comes to my personal artist page, like I forgot who said it, but about your son catching the algorithm, that's very important. When it comes to casting, everybody who I pretty much found, like 90% of the people I've casted has been through social media. Like I heard about them on social media. Wow. So your social media presence has to be major, because the players, they're looking. You know what I'm saying? The talent. Most casting directors who I know, they look on social media now. If not, they're on Backstage.com. But I like to cast on social media because I see your pictures, I see your videos, I see what you're into, I see what you're working on. So yeah, that's it.
That's a tough game out there. Rashid, what about you, sir? Any experiences you'd like to share?
I mean, as y'all know, I'm probably the worst person when it comes to just posting on social media. I'm more of a browser than like anything else, in fact, because I really pay attention to my followers. In fact, I more pay attention to who I'm following more more than anything else. So it's not really just a factor to me. But I've noticed that that depending on who I follow, that's who will try to start to follow me, like very random accounts that's like, okay, just because I follow this certain page, now you want to try to follow me on like some like 420 or some X-rated type of business. I'm just like, you know what? Yeah, this is why I keep my account on private, so that way they have to try to send me a follow request, and then for me to check it out, I'm just like, yeah, nah.
You're like, nah, I'm good. I'm not even gonna. See, unlikely for me. What about you? Is your platform for Mariah? Are you all? You're not private. Are you guys public? You got to be public, right?
No, we're public, so people can see my pretty face.
That part.
All right, there we go.
There's a song
Well,
called "Keep Me Weak at the Knees."
Exactly.
You got me weak at the knees, Mariah.
But moms, I have a question about just the social media. How do you address a social media presence for a child? Right? I know because I was watching some type of documentary on, what is that show, 2020? And they were looking at predators that were looking at these, I guess they're, I'm really bad with social media, but influencers, right? And so there was a family they were influencers, but they had minor children. And so these predators were reaching out to their children, and, the children thinks the other person is 9 or 7 or whatever they are. Does that ever concern you when you're developing the social media presence?
I've actually had that happen.
Have you?
On her account, they'll send stuff in the inbox saying, "Can you be my sugar baby?" And
You was about to lose all your
it's
girl.
I've actually had it happen a couple of times.
Now, how did you handle that? Do you block the accounts? What do you do?
I completely block it. I don't even want to respond.
Yeah, you just block. Boom.
I just block it. Yeah.
Bye bye.
What about you, Felicia? What's Naomi's account?
Oh, well, yeah, I have one specific lady, I think it's a lady. She posts my daughter, and she tells everyone that that's her daughter.
So she steals her identity.
Yeah, and other people, they make accounts with her picture.
Oh, wow.
With all her pictures. Some pictures that, like, I haven't even posted, maybe, I don't know where they found them, online or something. But I haven't had anyone, maybe because she's so young, like, be a predator in that way. But more so just like, look at my daughter, and I'm like, that's my daughter. So I mean, it's very weird. I don't understand why people want to do that. But it's weird. Yeah.
It's a crazy game, y'all.
You're right.
I know, it's interesting. You know what I mean? Every now and again you get those weirdos, you know what I mean? Very straight up, you just be like, oh my gosh. Or you know what? But particularly on Instagram, people can just call you up. Just,
Yes.
What is that about, Laura Rocker? You just be sitting
should
there
not
and
be
just
a
call
feature.
your phone like they your dude or something, like demanding you. I'm like, oh. And then you I can't block them fast enough because they just keep calling back and forth. And then they want a video. Hold on, you don't know me like that to be videoing me. Who the hell you got? Girl, it be tripping. You know how I do.
I don't know. Scammers are aplenty on social media platforms. On Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, whatever social media platform that you use that has an ability for you to send messages to the person, like a moment, they will try to pull a game on you.
Right.
They will try. Like and it's like the hot thing that's been out has been like, NFTs and like Bitcoin, and it's like,
I'm just annoyed at that.
and it's like if someone says hey, you've won such and such, please give me ... information. It's like,
I'm really just gonna give you that.
Yeah, you have
what
Cash
it's like,
App? No.
what it's like, okay, you want my Cash App, but then why do you want me to change the certain parts of my Cash App to this? Because see, that doesn't make sense.
Right?
because if you're sending me money saying that I want money, you would send that to my Cash App.
Right.
You would send that to my PayPal.
Right.
Why would I need to give you? Why would I need to change anything of my information? That's where you messing up.
Right.
Man.
Like when I talk to somebody, that's stupid.
Right.
Don't talk to me because now you're insulting me.
Yes. I hate when my intelligence are insulted. What about you, Sissy?
Absolutely. Yes. I definitely hate that. And you know that Bitcoin thing, I talk to friends of mine that are overseas on WhatsApp, right? Mm-hmm. And every day there's 3 or 4 people I have to block because they're sending me these stupid Bitcoin things like, oh, you've won, da 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 da, or oh, buy into the Bitcoin, you're going to be a millionaire, and you should. I don't know. That's just terrible.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's very
and one
annoying.
thing that dissuaded me from social media is for some reason I am a Nigerian magnet. If you are a Nigerian man and you are living in the country, my phone wouldn't stop ringing. It was just like ringing, and I'm like, who allows this to just be able to call someone?
Right? Called Nigerian princess.
That's crazy. And people send you all kind of crazy, unbelievable things. Unbelievable things. So
And kids too.
Yeah, I'm sure that you monitor her account.
Girl.
Yeah.
Where do you think you'll be when she gets 14, 13?
I feel like I'll still monitor her.
You still
I don't even know
monitor.
if, I don't trust it.
It's because those predators.
Yeah.
It's too much.
Yeah, it's really bizarre. So for those people who are listening, what would be the ABCs of starting a journey in this industry? What would be those building blocks that you would share to our listeners? Or like my little granddaughter who wants to get started, what would be the ABC building blocks?
What do you think, Felicia, since you have the agency?
The first thing is, I don't know about every other state, but for California and Atlanta, I know the kid has to have a work permit.
Definitely a work permit.
They're not
yes.
allowed on a work permit's free. If you need it like that day, like say your kid just got booked that day, you could pay $50 and get it that day. But they're not allowed by law on any set until they get that work permit. I don't even bring a child in, nor does like Central Casting that does background for kids and adults. You can't even, you need your work permit first because you're not allowed on set without it.
And the Coogan account, but that's not
Yeah.
all companies, all productions.
Now what's a Coogan
It's
account?
not.
Can you spell that for us, Queen?
COOGAN.
Okay. Coogan account.
It's for the actor children. A percentage of their money goes into that account, the Coogan account.
Okay.
And it's actually for, what is it, named after...
It's named after an actor that mother took 100% of his money.
all his
100%.
Yeah.
Yes.
So every job that the kid gets, that's a union. It doesn't have to be a union job, but
Yeah, it could be non-union.
It could be non-union. They take 15% out of their check, or is it 20?
15.
15%, and they put it into this court-blocked account with the
Like a trust.
Yeah, it
trust.
is a trust account.
It's made with the credit union or like a regular bank, and no one can touch it until that kid turns 18.
Okay. That's good.
That's really good.
I know that's good to know. That's so sad.
It is.
Yeah.
You could imagine this happened to hundreds of people.
Yeah, you'll be surprised.
Yeah. Wow, well, Lord, you got to get ready. You got a lot to learn for little mom, for you and Alyssa. Y'all got a pretty heavy feet in front of you, sissy,
Right,
which is
I'm
great.
telling ya. So we got to get a work permit, and we
Coogan
need to
account.
establish a Coogan account.
So where do you get that work permit? Do you go like to the Department of Labor? You got to go like to where do you go to get that?
Yeah,
Online?
Department of Labor.
Yeah.
You can go in Van Nuys, or you can do it all online. It takes about 2 weeks to get a brand new one.
Okay.
But once you're in their system, they'll pass it like 1-2 days.
Wow.
You have to renew it every 6 months.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Oh, and very important, if you think you're going to get this work permit for your child that is struggling at school, no.
Oh, wow. Talk to us a little bit about
the
that.
educational piece.
Yes. Okay, so the work permit covers your child. When your child goes on set, there are LAUSD teachers that are certified by LAUSD, and they're certified by Department of Children's Services. And they teach they're the set teachers. So what the work permit is saying, that your school is saying, I'm okay to let this child get schooled on set, and it doesn't count as an absence or anything for that child. So that's why the school has to stamp your work permit. And if the school writes non-satisfactory for maybe your grades are A's, but your attendance is terrible, you're not getting that work permit. So you have to be a smart kid to be an actor.
Mariah, how do you like school and acting? How do you balance the two?
My teacher's kind of weird, but at least I learn.
I get it. But do you think some of the weirdness kind of helps the teacher teach a little bit better and allows you to learn so much more at an excelled level?
Nope.
I love her.
And I also
She's
give her
weird.
a lot of learning at home. Outside
I
of
really wouldn't be able
Way
to tell
too
that.
much.
Of course, gorgeous. And then how do you choose some of the curriculum when you do some of your at-home things? You know what I
always
mean?
try to do a grade ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm doing 4th grade work.
Yeah, I give her always a grade ahead. So she's actually, she should be in
2
second
grades.
grade, but she's in 3rd grade.
Because I
So she's
skipped up a grade in kindergarten.
Yes.
Yeah.
Amazing.
That's Sissy over here.
And then I still give her a grade ahead, always a grade ahead.
Now, is that required by the acting, or it's just a thing you do as a mom?
I just do it as a mom.
As a mom.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's a good mommy.
That's great. How beautiful it is.
I just love it. That is so very true. That was you, Sissy.
Yeah.
You remember those good old days?
I do remember those good old days, way back 100 years ago.
Not long ago.
That's great. So we got our work permit. We got a Coogan account. Is that how you say it? Coogan account? All right. So now, I mean, what do we do next? Do we need to find an agency? Do we go on Facebook and social media, look for someone? How do we say, okay, I want to try out for somebody to discover me?
Right.
Well, for
Get an agent?
Mariah, I waited. She just got an agent last year.
Yeah, someone shared the agent with us, and it was Suanne and Mindy.
That's who we have now. But I waited.
How did you make that choice? How did you decide in your spirit? Okay. Because you waited such a long time. How did you know?
The grandmother that she used had them. And she was telling me things about them, and that's what made me go with them. But it took so long because there's so much.
Like kids that got agents and they don't give them work.
It's that too. So
Wow.
she had some friends that
And
were
cool
with
agents.
top agencies, and they weren't getting any work. Top agencies.
And at home I have to work on these lines.
So I waited, and so I was doing a lot of self submissions for her.
Okay.
So then you go to the casting sites, you'll sign up for those, and I was doing a lot of self submissions, and
Yeah.
she was getting SAG nationals, and so I just waited and took my time.
Yeah.
Then when I found that agency, that's when I went with them.
That is so wonderful.
But I feel like some people rush out to get an agent, and they should take their time.
They should before they get the wrong agent.
Right. What do you think about that, Felicia, and your experiences? And you, and what you do?
Yeah, that's probably the main reason why I started my agency. I see kids rush and get an agency. I see in the music industry they call it shelved. You're with, I won't name any names, but you're with a big music company, record label, and guess what? There's 10 Drakes. So you got to get over
And you're
those.
on the shelf
You're just sitting there. So they will hire
in case they need to pull you off.
in case. Yeah.
in case.
They'll hire 100 Mariahs. They'll sign them. And once your kid is signed,
That's it, huh?
I'm probably the only agent in LA that does non-exclusive contracts for kids. I do not put a kid in. An exclusive contract is you're with me until this contract's over, if your mom gets you work, if Jackie gets you work, if Lil Rocket gets you work, I still get my 20%.
Wow.
Even though I had nothing to do with that job for you.
Oh wow.
I don't like that part. Have you ever? I like it. Oh my God.
Now, a good agent is fine because you're working, but if you're not working and you can't even look for another agent, you're just sitting there on the shelf looking pretty
Wow.
until your contract's up.
That completely blows.
It does. Well, it takes you out of the game, right?
Completely.
It takes you out of the game.
Yep.
But the industry continues to move.
Exactly.
So it sounds like waiting is definitely important. Now, is waiting to the point of where you've kind of have a good amount of body of work behind you? Or, I mean, like Jackie said, when do you find that point where you move from self-submissions to, okay, I don't think I'm going to get shelved?
Right.
You really don't even know if you're going to get shelved.
You don't know.
No, you don't know that.
Right. Right.
You
right.
sign with an agent, you have no idea if you're going to just sit there with the agent and get absolutely nothing.
It's a roll of the dice.
Yeah.
But that's good.
I personally, with my son, when I realized he needed an agent, I waited to the point where he was bigger than me. I was running around town. I'm sure she knew that. And I was driving myself crazy. I was a single mom, trying to take him to auditions, having his grandma take him, grandpa, dad, whoever.
Getting there.
Sometimes, bless these moms. Oh my God, I love you guys. We had a mom team. Hey, where are we meeting? Pick up all 9 boys and take them to that Nike audition. And one mom will take all of them.
Right. That was right.
Yeah,
Yes.
it was really nice. But that's when I knew I needed an agent, when I was missing jobs for him because I couldn't handle it
It was
no
just too
more.
much. It was overwhelming.
Yeah. So I waited to that point. I went crazy.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that breaking point. There's always those breaking points. You're like, oh my God, I got to do something different. My goodness, Lord G.
I know it's so much. So talk to us about self-submissions.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
You're submitting for yourself instead of the agent's probably submitting too. So instead of the agent submitting, I'm submitting for her.
Got it.
Okay.
So me or whoever else, but other than the agent. But the only reason why I also decided to get the agent because I can only see so much self-submitting.
Right.
I can't see what the agents see.
I see.
Right.
So then she needed to go further than
Yes.
what I could see. So it was time. But
Like
the
you hit that
self-submission
block.
it's limited.
My mom got commercials and stuff. She can only see commercials, but my agent, they can see everything.
That's right. That's right, sweetheart.
And so where do you go to these sites to see, like what sites or where do you go to find out about work if you don't have an agent and you want to do self-submission?
There's Actors Access, Casting Networks, Backstage. Which other ones do you?
Frontier.
Oh yeah, Casting Frontier. I think that's pretty like the
That's
major
pretty
ones.
much all of the major ones that have good quality work.
Right.
And if your kid is starting out, I suggest going to Central Casting, letting your kid do background because as cute and fun as your kid may be, if they can't get through a day of background where they're sitting around, they may not be used that day at all.
At all.
If they cannot do that, it's going to be very hard for them when they get principal work because it's a lot of sitting around. The child has to kind of have a kid's mind mixed with a business mind, even at 2 years old.
Yeah.
Really?
For
Yeah.
her, for Mariah, I did a lot of free jobs.
Yes.
A lot of free, a lot of where they weren't. If they did pay, it was hardly nothing. But it was for her to get the experience.
Yes. Okay. Yes. Yes.
And a lot of people now don't want to do the free job, but they need to for the experience for the kids.
But the kids.
Definitely.
Yes, yes, yes.
So they learn the environment, right?
Yeah.
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 You'll be surprised how wardrobe people and directors talk to kids.
Oh yeah.
You'll be like
Like
very
in a bad way?
No, but it's quick.
it's
like
quick.
Oh.
It's very like they're talking to an adult.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, wow.
The last job she did, oh my God, the director was talking. He was talking so fast, I was confused. I was like, wait a minute. Do you know what they're asking you? It was quick. It's, you have to literally, it's
Listen
hard.
with your ears the hardest you can. That's the main reason why I got eardrums.
Wow, is it hard to listen to what the director says, Maria?
No. But sometimes they be talking as fast as a cheetah. Like,
Now, are you able to ask the director questions, or do you just have to?
I don't need
Listen.
to because I have good eardrums and they don't.
She'll ask questions if they do.
Sometimes.
Sometimes if they tell her do it this way or do it that, if she's not sure, she'll ask them, wait a minute, did you want me to do this, or are you asking me to do that? If anything she's not sure about, she will ask.
Yeah.
Which is good.
Right.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was only 4 or 5 times.
Yeah. But I agree with Felicia, they talk to the kids like they're adults.
Wow.
Yeah.
You have to, kind of, right? Don't you think so?
For
That's what
them
you were saying, the
to,
business adult mind,
It is a
Felicia?
business. At the end of the day, it is a business. So I go into it like that. I coach all my parents. That's another thing a lot of agencies need to get better at. Understanding that some of these parents are very green. They don't know anything.
Yes.
So you can't just say a bunch of stuff like, some people don't know what slating is. They don't know what, their kids never worked a day in their life. And you're like, you have to slate, you have to do this, you have to do that, learn monologue. Like, tell them what type of monologue they need to learn, an age-appropriate monologue.
Yes.
If you think they're a comedic kid, they need to learn comedic or a dramatic monologue. Like, it's all those things, like, that I mean, like from the agent, from the managers, from the directors, producers, and ADs, they talk to you, and you could get very frustrated if I was an actor, so it was not a problem for me coming on set with a child.
Okay, I
But
see.
for a mom that don't
Experienced.
understand any of that, it could be very overwhelming.
That's what I was thinking. But it's a whole other world, though.
Oh, yeah.
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 Now, when you have an agent, do they do that type of tutoring for families?
Nope.
No.
No.
Nope.
They're just out there learning on the job.
I mean, I do.
You
That's
do.
why I stay boutique. I try to keep it under
Yes.
50 kids. But, no. They do not.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Lori, what do you
That's
think?
a lot. I'm just thinking.
Do you think
so,
Gabriel can do this?
Girl, no.
You don't think so? This is Lori's grandson, girl. Lori be trying to ask.
We got to work on the what you doing while you're waiting. Where do you say we need to
Yeah,
go?
oh,
We need to
yeah.
go there immediately.
You can wait for hours.
He couldn't wait in line to see Blippy backstage. He was convinced because the line was so long. Blippy had left. He was like, he's playing us. Blippy is not even here.
Lori, Blippy has left the
He had
building.
left the building.
Gabriel was hot.
He was like, I'm just not feeling it. But his little buddy Jackson said, no, they wouldn't sell us the ticket. And it's funny because Gabriel's 4
You should have been
and
recording
Jackson
that,
is
Lori.
3.
That's
We should have been recording that.
Yeah,
And Jackson's
yes.
telling him, no, they wouldn't have sold us the ticket, Gabriel.
Oh my God. He's rationalizing.
Blippy is not here. And Gabriel's like, no, he left. I'm telling y'all, they playing us. We just stand in line for nothing.
I love it.
He is a piece of work.
He is a piece of work.
Now, that would be interesting. But Gabriel, if you're listening, your Jaja says that you should start acting. So we're going to talk. Come on, I love you, little man.
He had his a big break for him. He went to his sister is in the 5th grade, so they had the 5th grade. I don't know. Glad we're finished testing dance, right? And his mom is head of the is on the PTA, and she was on the decorating committee. So they went to the dance, and then they started playing music. And Gabriel took it upon himself to break dance. So all of the 5th graders created a big circle around him and cheered him on as he was breakdancing.
Wow.
So Taylor came home and told me, she's like, there could be some potential hope that we may be getting to that point where he could do things.
Because he's not afraid.
He was not afraid. He did all kinds of breakdancing.
Different movements.
Different movements to keep the crowd engaged.
You know, that's all he needed was somebody to gas him. Lord help us.
Because
oh my
there
God.
are kids that go out and they are afraid. Have you had that?
Definitely. Definitely.
How do you work that? How do you work with that breakthrough?
I'm really good with kids, and I'm really good with just training them. So I would say to every parent that wants to put your kid in the industry, find an agent that will work with you. Know your child. If your child sings, if your child dances, my Naomi, she swims. I put her in water commercials. Those are the auditions I get her because that's her comfort zone.
That's her thing. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like if your child is a Minecraft child or Fortnite child, do not try to make him do a role where, I don't know, where he's just
This goes
completely
against the
out.
grain of who they are.
Yeah, I mean, you can try, but your child will have a more successful booking rate when you put them in their comfort zone. I tell every parent that, like, they like, why do we have to fill out all this stuff? I said, I need to get to know your child.
Right.
Because I'm not gonna, Mariah is very intelligent. She's very outgoing. I can send her out for anything.
Yes.
But there's kids that are they're intelligent, outgoing, and like not in front of the camera, but as soon as they see all these lights, they freeze up. So learn exercises to do with your child, like the shakeout and the yelling and you got to learn all those things and let your child
just
tell
build
the
himself.
director, we need a minute.
Yeah.
Shake 'em out,
You have to do that, girl. Sometimes still pray for me, and you just scream.
I've seen kids get put out.
Of the show? I mean, out of the job?
Yes.
Wow. Girl, give us the 411.
Just acting bad or not doing what they're asking them to do. Yeah.
And they just like, you're
They put them
fired.
out.
One of my friends.
Oh.
We can't say that one.
No.
We're not telling that story, Mariah. We're just
tell
gonna
that one.
move on past that one.
Move on right past there. But here's a question that I have. So, have you encountered families where it is the desire of the parent for their child to be in this industry, and it's not so much the desire of the child? And how do you reconcile that?
Felicia?
Wow. It's hard when it's closer to home, but overall, I ask the child in front of their parent. The parent gets really, really, really mad at me. And I tell them, if you don't want... Okay, my son was booked. We were there that day. And it was for Nickelodeon. He said, I just can't do it today. And it broke my heart. I'm like, this is my reputation. I said, your reputation? You're not concerned about your son. Something's off. He can't do it. So when I get kids like that, I always ask them in front of their parent, do you want to do this? Is this something that you really want to do? And why do you want to do it? That's one of the questions I ask before you enter my agency. Why? I have the kid tell me, why do you want to be an actor? And if they cannot tell me, or if they say no, I won't accept them to my agency. I don't care how amazing, how many credits they have, how big they are. I'm not into exploiting kids. And I mean, it's sad, but a lot of parents are living through their kids. It's really sad, but it is the truth. I've heard all kind of stories of why this child is doing this. And I don't know, it just breaks my heart sometimes because it's just, like, I entered it for money, and I hate it every day going to work. Hate it every day. I can just not even imagine how a kid that don't know how to process their emotions and express how they really feel inside,
What they're going through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's probably like why you get the kids that end up, getting put out because they don't want to do it.
So true.
That is very true.
Yep.
You will be able to tell, though. You'll be able to tell.
Definitely.
Watching that kid, you'll know, like, this kid doesn't want to do it. Even as a set mom, right? When you're on set, you're like, oh, that kid does not want to be here.
Yeah.
You can tell.
What about theater? Do you ladies, how do you feel about theater work? Yes. Do you like the theater, Jeanette?
It's okay.
I feel like I did because you know what? I feel like it gives her a different type of experience. We're working in front of the live audience, so there's no cut. We do it again. So
There's no cut, action, just you.
yes,
Right. That's right. Just go. Look,
Yeah.
you tell us about. Can you tell us a little? Let everybody know what you do. Straight up. No, really, because it's applicable for the baby.
If you don't mind, quick question, Ms. Glory, for the panel, with Miss Felicia and you guys talking about children that don't want to be on set. You know, we hear so many stories about child actors who, you know, lose it by the time they get older, and you know they have this like mental breakdown because they've been doing it so long. How do you prevent something like that? And can you see it or see it in children before it happens? I don't know if my question makes any sense.
No, that makes a lot of sense. Personally, I can see it a mile away. The sad part is, I don't know how to say this nicely, but no one in the industry cares.
yeah, I agree.
You know, yeah, it's really sad because they can have a name for themselves or no name for themselves. And if they're working and the parent doesn't stick up and say they don't want to do it, or they don't want to say anything because, you know, they've been booked. I've seen kids come to set sick, you know, just because this is a rare job where you're not really replaceable. You know, if you're on that call sheet and you're one of the numbers, not background, you're not really replaceable. Unless like you have like COVID or something, like we're gonna film that day. And if you don't be there, then you're breaking your contract. So it's preventable only by that parent, because that's how you get to the kids that are really depressed. You hear about the suicides, and it's only preventable by the parents. Or, you know, I know a lot of set teachers are stepping up to say stuff because they have a psychology background and they see certain things and hear certain things. So I know a lot of them are like, I think this person needs help, you know. But as far as being preventable, it's just by the parents, like taking their kid out. I know I had to take my son out for 5 years because he just was, the anxiety was through the roof, you know, and I'm nervous. People are looking at me all day. I'm like, okay, we're taking a break. Yeah. But, yeah, I say for parents that are out there, that kids are in the industry, just really watch them. Really listen to them. If they say they don't want to do something, don't try to convince them to do it. If it's for them and this industry's for them, they'll get there. You know, it's not a race. It's a marathon, pretty much.
And people see with the parents, it's they try to compete with the kids, and it's not.
The
that
parents
serious.
try to compete with the kids?
Yes, it's a.
Can you give us an example?
Give us an example of that.
Just say like if Mariah booked the job for this, now the other parents are so upset that their kid didn't book that job, or it's a very competitive world.
Yeah.
And I feel like you can't get involved in that.
No.
Yeah, not at all.
Wow.
You've seen that? Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm sure Felicia has seen it too.
To the point where parents like, don't talk to them.
Wow.
Oh, they'll stop talking to the person who got the job.
They will tell their child,
Don't
talk to those kids.
Wow.
It gets treacherous.
Damn.
I mean, dang.
Wow, really a cutthroat.
That's a cold game, Lola.
Yeah,
It's
wow.
bad for the adults, so it's bad for the kids.
And the babies.
Right.
That's terrible.
Yeah, especially if the parent is living through the child, like this is how they eat. So you know, sharp business. You gotta eliminate.
That's why that Coogan fund is important.
Yes,
Definitely.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, that makes sense.
Like Britney Spears' daddy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She had some mental health things too.
But still, he was taking her dough.
Yeah,
She was
that's
trying to
not
get her money.
Oh,
And I don't really give it.
do these child actors come in with parents, or how high is that? Like, do most children come in with their parents, or some of them got agents You know, are their parents with them?
Usually.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Someone is with them.
Some guardian.
Guardian, okay.
A guardian always has to be there.
Yeah.
Until they're 16, they can go on set alone. But before 16, anyone over 18 can really take your child to set.
Okay.
So it could be a big brother, big sister.
Yeah. Okay.
Lord Rocker, do you think you would consider this for your son? Would you
For my
consider
son?
this entertainment?
Yeah, I think my son, you know, I'm a natural. His mom's a natural, so I think he's just gonna jump right into it. Yeah, it's in his blood. I don't think I gotta force him to do anything.
You know you've seen him on the videos, Lord. You know how
he
you
be
do.
wildin'. But yeah, I love him. But yeah, I think he's gonna be a natural. I think he's gonna fall right into it. But yeah, thank you for all the information y'all sharing. Cause I do want to know when my son gets started, what to do. So I appreciate y'all.
He's very cute.
He's so handsome. I love it. Thank you so much for sharing. Oh my goodness, Lord, we got a lot to continue.
Got a
with.
lot. We got the building blocks, right? So we got the Coogan Fund that we had. We got a work permit, right? And so now we have assessed that it's our child's idea. Y'all listening, family? It's your child's idea that they want to be engaged in this, right? So now I think we need those practical tools, right?
Right.
We need some headshots.
Yes.
And we need a resume.
Okay, how do you know
How do
what
we-
is a good headshot?
Yeah, how do we
I just,
get that?
I just was behind. I didn't know Jeanette told me. Tell us, Jeanette, please.
Well, to me, so they're different kind of headshots.
Okay,
You have your
break it
commercial
down.
headshots.
Okay.
And you have your theatrical headshots.
Theatrical.
So
Okay.
the commercials are, they're more. The kids are more smiling. They're happy. Everything is happy for a commercial.
Okay.
Theatrical is more serious.
How do you know when to do a black and white headshot versus a color headshot? How do you know
I don't
those
think
different?
there are any black and white headshots right now. I guess you can use it. Have you seen
Lord,
any
did you
black
guys-
and white?
What about you,
Yeah.
Lolo, in the theater? Tell people about the theater. What you do?
We've seen some in the theater.
That's what I was wondering. I've
It's
seen
like
some in your
dramatic
office.
effect. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, maybe that's different for commercial and theatrical. I haven't
Like
seen
you said, a
any.
lot difference. I love it. Go ahead.
Oh no, I didn't say anything. Yeah, I work for a little university down the street, and I serve as a dean there. So I'm one of the vice deans in our School of Dramatic Arts. So we have
Yes.
our MFA and our undergrad students that are doing theater all the time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I'm excited that you might think you want to do some theater.
That's why I was asking. I was just fishing around there.
Love it.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely. Yeah,
I
theater's
know.
great.
I think it's amazing. I've done a couple plays, guys. So
has.
little community theater. Yeah, and I love it. I absolutely love it. And so it's interesting. So this is the deal. You got, for me, when we started, I started with the Long Beach Community Theater. Remember that, Sissy? And so when I kind of started in it, it's my own work, right? So after writing the book, it's like, okay, that's my work. Okay, then we did the Long Beach Community Theater. It's always about, she'll give us a prompt, if you will, and then we create a story, and then that story comes to life on stage, and we perform the story. And so it's always my personal work, right? So I was like, okay, well, I'm doing this. And people are like, oh my God, and people like our work. And I'm like, but do they like my work because it's really me? You know what I mean? Because it's my own work. So of course I can deliver my own work, but can I deliver someone else's work? If I can, I see these people just call you out like they know you know. You know. You feel me? Because I did those posts today. And so I was like, you'd be like, okay, so can I do somebody else's work? And so then that's when I was super duper excited about starting to do plays. And then that's when I started to do plays, and I had to actually be directed. And it's like you say, you out there, you just out there floating.
Yes,
It's like,
yes.
you know what I mean? And then when Laura Rocca put us on the game and put us on the movie scene, you know what I'm saying? And now, I'm like, I just be on the cop scene thanks to Laura Rocca. But then it's like you said, all these takes, Jeanette, and then you just gotta sit there. You gotta wait your turn. And then it's really my turn today. And we've gotta be on set at 7 a.m., but they don't call me. I ain't gonna say no names until 5 o'clock p.m. And then, we were like, oh, Lord. But it's so
There's a lot
exciting.
of waiting.
And then I just wondered, so then it's like, that's why I was wondering about the differences between theater versus film. But I just praise be to God to say that we even we're blessed to be able to say I can even participate in all of that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then we got radio. So I think I like to deliver my own work. I like being trained. I like being kind of directed and told what to do. And so what we did do, ladies, we also have Lori and I own a production company. We are Gingy Productions and Entertainment Company. And yes, we established in 2014 when I did the release of my first spoken word CD titled The Archer, and my poetry name is The Poetess Reigns, as you know, Jeanette, and then to you, Felicia. So when we were doing that work, Lori and I decided, and then I was doing all those community theater plays. I did about 4 or 5 of them back to back, right?
Oh, wow.
And then so I'm like, all right, Sissy, we can do this. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, you know, a lot of it was free. You know, the first couple was free, you know, but just the experience, you know, I'm out here doing my thing, old chick, you know, but feeling young, you know what I'm saying? Daughters is on their way doing that. I'm like, you know, Lord, let's do some fun stuff. And then it started like really like feeling it. I said, Sissy, we can do this, Sissy. I'm telling you, we gonna do this. Lord be like, oh Lord, here she go. All right,
Here we
Sissy,
go
come
again.
All right, Sissy, we gonna do this, Sissy. We gonna put on a play, Sissy. We gonna do our own stuff. We gonna get backstage. You know, we finna do our own. Lori's like, oh Lord, here we go. And I'll be like, Lori finna start raising some money, Sissy. We need the bread, Lori. We gotta get some money. So we did, and Lori pulled off, and she directed, and we both produced, and we did Toni Morrison's The Bluest Eye, a live theater production, first ever held in our city, hometown, Compton, California. Lord, you tell them the rest on how you created a black box theater out of the Dollar High Center.
We did.
And tell them what happened, please, Sissy.
We did. It was such a great project, and I think it was great because we had the backing of the city council and the mayor, Asia Brown, at that time, supported our project. And it was a mixture of people who were professional actors, but mostly community people who always wanted to act or do theater, and for a myriad of reasons couldn't. I mean, I will always remember one lady who was in her early 50s. And she had raised her children, put her children through college, but her desire was she always wanted to try to act. So she was cast in our community production. So it was really, really exciting, I think, from that point. And we had a big cafeteria, basically, is what the community center was. And so we brought in walls, and we brought in lights, and we got our sound booth, and we had a set designer, which I lost my set designer day 2.
Lori Lori was so mad at him.
It's
Lord
like
Jesus.
it's crazy. Who was director of the production, who moved to set designer, and so it left us without a director. And as you know, anyone who listens to the POJ show knows that I'm the benefactor. So I stay behind. That's why I'm not even on YouTube today. Right? I'm right over here. Get over here. And I'm looking at the finances and what we can and cannot afford. And I'm like, we don't have a director. What are we gonna do? And so Jackie said, Lori, you can do it.
I can do this. Did you done been to 10,000 plays all over the world, from plays in Paris, New York, Chicago. You the play chick. Do it.
My sister can do that.
Yes.
For sure.
She
real.
believed in me when I did not believe in myself. And so I was like, okay, here we go.
Let's do it.
And we did it. We did it. We lost our stage manager. I became the stage manager. I became the director of sound design. We found us a set designer, and we had a nice, within means set. But we put on full houses. We had 3 productions of The Bluest Eye, and it was just such an incredible experience. And then we were looking to do our second production for the city. We were looking at A Raisin in the Sun, and then COVID hit. And it just shut everything down within the industry. So we're regrouping, and we're going to be back.
That's impressive.
Yeah, it was good. It was such a beautiful time.
Yeah. So she's an amazing woman. So that's why I just want to honor her. And I want to honor you, beautiful queens. Happy Mother's Day to you, beautiful women tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, yes. I just want to say that. And happy Mother's Day to your beautiful queen as well, Laura Rocca. Please send love. And happy Mother's Day to your amazing mama, Rashid, if you can send her our love as well. So, yeah, I just was saying we're having a really, really good time. I'm having a great time and for spending your Mother's Day with us. And I also just wanted to share a little tidbit in addition to my sissy's birthday on Monday. But this is also, again, if I may have mentioned offline, but I'd like to say it online, we are celebrating our 5th year, ladies and gentlemen, with yaxradio.com and acceleratedradio.net. Very special shout out again to the Mr. Kevin Nash, and we've just been having a good time. We've got treats. These are for Sissy's birthday, so we've got in. I ain't giving her no free advertisement. Yeah, I will. We're going to do Miss Priss cupcakes because she is nice and she was really good to me today. So we got some cookies and we got some Yeah, Sissy. Mariah said happy birthday. What you doing?
Mariah wants to sing her happy
Oh,
birthday.
you're going to sing happy birthday to me?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Okay, let me put my ears on.
Marilyn Monroe style.
Here we go.
My mic close to me.
There you go.
Okay, please, may you wait just 2 seconds, Mariah, because I got to
please.
get this.
I need to have a copy.
I know, 0, 2, 1, 2, 2. Girl, I got to get my camera ready. I got to be ready.
Are we ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Lori. Happy birthday to you.
Oh my God. Oh, Mariah, thank you. You're going to make me cry. Thank you. Oh, what a beautiful birthday gift. Thank you so much.
Isn't that precious?
That is beautiful. Oh, it warms my heart. Thank you.
You're such a special lady.
So wonderful.
You
So
deserve
blessed
it.
right now. I got to do a play just to cast Mariah.
Look at that. Oh, my goodness.
Definitely. You would have been really great in The Bluest Eye. Remember, we had
Spawn.
I wouldn't say that on air, but we needed a little person, a young child role, and you would have been excellent for that. That was right. Woo, the director's job is a little challenging.
We all know where that was.
Yeah, that girl. Woo! I was like,
Whoa, that's crazy. But in our last bit of time together, and I'm gonna find the napkin so we can enjoy some treats. But I'm interested, ladies, about how you see race, ethnicity, and gender changing within the industry, right? The Academy has put in different guidelines, right, to ensure that things are diversifying. How has that affected or impacted your journey, or has it?
Yeah, I would say for us it hasn't, but you do see
what, girl?
you do see where there may be.
She's thinking
I'm
of
trying
what to
say
say.
how to
She's
say
taking
it.
her time.
Well, some roles that, oh God, I don't even know how to say it. You know what I mean?
Time.
What do you think?
Yeah, it's
Talk.
so. Just say you have a role that's like an A role.
Mm-hmm.
You see a lot of the A roles for different reasons. So yeah, it's
Got it.
I didn't really believe that was true until she got into that. You would hear, say in the 90s or 2000s that was really an issue.
Mm-hmm.
It is an issue.
It really
do
is.
see it. Yeah.
Man. Oh, Rashid, open up.
Have you seen it, Felicia?
Yeah. It's very different from even 10 years ago.
Okay.
I'm all about embracing, everybody and everything and letting people be their own. But it's really tough It's basically, I don't know how to say it either.
Is it just?
Yeah, you
Is
really
it
don't
kind of
know.
blatant, but it's not too blatant?
I mean, I personally feel like it's pushed upon. I don't know. I don't know how there's a role for a 3-year-old that knows that they're transgender.
Yes,
Like,
yes.
There's a lot of that. Yeah.
I don't know how. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how to say it because
Yeah.
I'm not against it. You should be comfortable with whatever you want to be. But at 3, I don't know that you know that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Okay,
agree.
so are y'all trying to say that they try to typecast?
Well, they do.
They do.
Yeah.
Yes, that they typecast to a point where it's like even when you are a like young child, they want you to, as a young child, try to fit this mold. Even when you are as a young child, don't exactly know who you are at that point, but yet they're trying to basically force this kind of mold onto you to make you try to fit.
Yeah.
Yes, there's a lot of grooming. There we go.
Yeah. Grooming has definitely been around for a millennia. We saw that with the R. Kelly grooming. We saw that there, and I don't want to say Michael Jackson was really groomed. I don't want to say that because I don't want to be like really wrong about that, but.
I'm gonna say maybe only because remember if you guys saw the Janet documentary on Janet Jackson's life and when she was talked about her time with her brother, and she said that they were very, 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 very close their entire lives. From just her and Michael were just very close, right? But she says she remembered a period after he did. She said because they would always talk together, and after every show, Michael would come in her room if they're out of town, and when they would come home, he goes into Janet's room, or Janet runs into his room, and they talk about what they did, him and the brothers, what they did. So they were like super duper close. But she says she remembers vividly after Thriller. She said he just completely changed, and she said she remembered he kind of came in the room with her one night, and she said he looked at her. And he just turned and walked out. And she said from that moment forward, he was just completely different. And the people that were around him would not allow them near him. She gave I'm not going to go keep to, but she gave very specific detail on that movie, on the freaking video they did together, Scream. And we watched it as I'm watching it, oh my God, Janet and Michael together, like, whoa. No, she said that was one of the most heartbreaking and horrible experiences for her because she saw what Michael had become, how rude they were to her, how rude Michael himself was to her, and created a jealousy between the two. Like Michael was like, they didn't even film. Michael would refuse to film on set with her. He would not even film with her. It's like if she's on set, he's not there. He can't let her see. She couldn't see nothing of what was going on in his tent. She said his people just took over and he just completely became a different person. And she said she just couldn't believe it. And she said she was just like, we weren't raised like that. Like, who are you? What have you done to yourself? Remember that, Lolo?
Man.
So just piggybacking on what you're saying, Rashid.
Yeah. Okay, because I would say back when you definitely noticed a change after that Pepsi incident in which his hair
Lord,
caught
you
on
want to
fire.
tell them about that? Please do.
And then and then of course him discovering that he had vitiligo, which for those that don't know, vitiligo is basically when the pigmentation of your skin starts to differentiate. Basically you start noticing spots, and those spots can actually start becoming more and more noticeable. And it's like when you're someone like Michael Jackson, back in when having those just spots, those quote unquote blemishes, isn't exactly a starring thing to have, because that's your reputation, and if you're not really to actually stand on that heel as far as to actually represent that dark side of Villa Largo, then he's just gonna say, you know what, I'm just gonna go all the way through.
Right.
I'm not gonna let the process advance that much. I'm gonna just take control of that. Again, I don't know who was in his ear back in the because we know Michael was cutthroat in the industry. I mean, we saw what he did with the Beatles.
Absolutely. Paul McCartney was still pissed off.
Right. Like, man sat there while in mid-discussion just said, hey, yo, like, you see all your collection? Mine now.
The girl is mine. Michael was a cold piece, y'all.
Oh, yeah, back in the day. He was a cold piece, and I think that's what differentiates him from
the rest.
From someone like Prince, because Prince himself, he was also a cold piece, but he did it in a different way to where it's like a mama. He kept things close to chest. He didn't really let things escape out of his inner circle unless it was meant to. That's kind of what Prince was, and I think they're at the end of the day they will both be respected artists, but still they were children at one time. They've had people in their ear, whether it be Michael's dad throughout his career, or just the people that have been around Prince. They've had people that would basically put them into this direction, which is why you rarely saw Prince, like really, adventure out.
Yeah, that's true.
You rarely saw that.
No, I just what he's saying. I think it's just very important as parents to stand for what they stand for. Naomi was offered a very big campaign for her hair. Her most is her eyes, then her hair.
Yeah. Okay.
But the brand is for girls that are mixed. She's not mixed.
Okay.
So I politely declined, and they asked me, was I crazy? Those are just the things that I'm saying.
Like that typesetting?
Yeah, like if you are a very strong Christian and you don't want to do that, or if you're, Jewish or whatever you are, whatever it is, do not be afraid to say no.
Okay.
To any director, even if you're on set, you're casted, and then I remember my son being so angry doing a commercial for the Olympics for soccer, and they wanted to put him on Team Brazil. So I had to explain to him, I do understand that you're Mexican and black, but to the eye, you look Brazilian. And that is why they're putting you on this team, son. Do you want to do this and do it right, or do you want to leave? It's just those type of things. I think parents are like, you're gonna do this. You're gonna play game banger. You're gonna play a gay little boy. And it just everything about it. How you hear about these kid actors that grow up and get outrageous, it's because the parents didn't control it then.
Got it.
Now they're trying to control them. Like, no, you better stop. We got to get you another movie. It's too late.
It's too late.
The damage has been done.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you just got to watch out for your kids' branding and how you brought them up, what you believe in. I think that's how we get to the Michaels and the other people.
I agree.
Wow. Thank you for that. That's an amazing. How old is your son?
He is 20.
Wow. Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Is he still in the business too?
Yes, he just did a music video with Willow Smith and Pink Pantheress.
Wow. How awesome is that?
Yeah.
That is so cool.
He just jumped back in. He's enjoying it now.
That's beautiful. That's so exciting. Oh my God. What are you thinking about, Lori G?
I think that's great. That's super, super exciting. I'm just in awe.
I know, right?
I'm still
So
reeling
blessed.
over my birthday song.
I know.
I'm still
beautiful.
absorbing all of that. But you ladies have been so informative tonight, and we're so appreciative of that. If someone wanted to follow Miss Mariah and see what she's up to, or learn about your agency and what your children are up to, give us your contacts and handles and all of that.
What's your Instagram, Mariah?
Mariah Tavares 3.
All right.
And we are at Creative Talent Artists.
And what about Naomi? Does she has her own page, or do we go through your agency?
No, you can find Naomi's page, baby doll _ Naomi. Naomi Lynn. Or at Filters by Naomi.
Oh my gosh, that's so exciting.
Can I say one more positive thing about the industry?
Whatever you like, Queen. Please do. Please do. Please.
I will say the industry can be great as well. Having an adult that was in the industry since 9 has taught him so much. He was so far ahead when he graduated high school and went to college, like going to college and stuff, like just certain things like managing, your accounts, and they learn all that stuff. They learn contracts. They understand there's extensive paperwork to fill out all the time.
All the time.
Right.
And when he got 16, he was going alone, and he knew how to fill out those contracts. He knew they know. They become very, what's the word? They become very informative about little things that they need in the world.
Got it.
I feel like it's like college to help kids understand, I don't know how to explain it, but it can be very helpful with the right parent-child relationship, and you looking out for your kid. It could be very helpful for them in their future.
Yes. Lori, have you experienced something like that? I'm just saying, like at the university level, just a little bit about, like, Disney. What are you thinking?
Well, I mean, we are maybe the first, definitely, and one of maybe none, an institution that has its own casting office.
Okay.
Wow. So we have our own casting agency to really try to place our students after they finish. But we are not the agents, right?
Okay.
So we have courses in just that, in contracts, in literacy, and budgeting, and financing, and all of those things. Because even though they may find a job through our school, SDA, right? But we can't represent and help them broker that job. So they either have to be able to do that themselves, or they have to find their own representation to do that. But even though we have courses in all of this, like we call it the business of acting, right? It's like pulling teeth to get them to go through some of those it's
they don't know. They're going to need that.
They're going to need that.
Yeah,
they're going to need that, definitely.
Wow.
Yeah, so I think that's a really important part, and what you guys are doing is excellent, particularly your agency that really takes the time, that talks about the budgeting and the finance.
Yes, that's really, really good.
It's really important.
Yeah, putting something away, and in my experience with actors, they only see the job they have now, right?
Yeah.
So you never know when you're going to get another job. So you got to make that check or that money, right? Be sustainable or float yourself through
to the next one,
till you get that next one. So,
Lord Rock, I have a question for you.
Yes, ma'am.
Of course, starring Crescent Castings is amazing. But how did you decide, and when did you know that you were going to go and become a casting agent?
I got to shout out Brandon Woodring. Brandon, when he first came out here, he was going to school at LA Film School, and I met him through a friend, Jennifer Black, and she was like, I got this friend, he's working on some films, can you help him get it done? And I was like, yeah, I'll be in the film. So I started acting in his films. And then since he's from New Orleans and he didn't really know anybody in LA, he was like, hey, you know some people that I love being in my film? I'm like, sure. So I started getting people for his film, and he just loved everybody who I got. And then one day he just asked me, like, yo, you want to be my casting director? I'm like, sure. I just took on, and I know what I'm doing. And that was in 2011. And then 2020 he started again, and he was like, yo, I'm gonna need you again. Yo, find some people for me, I'll pay you. And I was like, for sure. So I'm good. I love networking, I love talking to people. So that's how I got started, and I love doing it. I kind of look at myself like that person that when you're young, you got dreams and aspirations to be in films and commercials and stuff like that, but I've never found that's why I love what Jeanette does with Mariah and what Felicia does with her daughter, because